or 5 questions here. Here, to the right.
Hey, Josh, can you just share what it felt like to be back out there again to make the impact that you did on the field, and maybe just how much fun, if you had fun out there?
That was the main goal for me, just have as much fun as possible, go like as hard and, put as much of myself out there as I possibly could, and I think I had a good time with it. That was my number one objective.
Right here, Matt.
Josh, do you feel like that your chemistry with Tom Brady is really coming together? It seemed like, especially on a couple of deep balls, that you guys were on the same page.
We have spent a lot of time together. I would say so. I think over the course of time, talking together, working together, after practice, in between practice. Yeah, I mean, I get a feel for what he likes, and I try to find my way there as best as I can. I think it'll get better. It's the first game, so we're building.
Hey, Josh, how would you characterize how you're doing health-wise first, football-wise second?
I'm doing very well. I'm extremely filled with gratitude every day. Just enjoying myself coming inside this building, being around this family-oriented type of environment, and just doing what I love to do. There's nothing better than this, honestly. It's great.
The last 2 questions, we got Jarrett Bell, and then Scott Bell. Go ahead, Jarrett.
Josh, when you came here, there were a lot of questions about how you would fit into the Patriots environment, the culture. Can you shed some light on what has helped you with the culture? And then when you think of Antonio Brown coming here, what would be the advice to him in terms of flowing with this culture?
Well, yeah, for me initially it was a culture shock. It was definitely different. But, I think as I grew in this environment and got to observe other young men move and organize and act professionally, and expectations were high, and it wasn't anything more than what I think they knew that they could do was being asked of them. I knew I was like, all right, this is the way it's done here. I could either get with it or look for a transition somewhere else. It's tough, but if this is what you want to do, I think this is the best place to be.
And for Antonio?
Antonio, he's gonna have to figure out his own way, just like everybody else has,
Last question, Scott Bell.
Point. Everybody knows how much you work out, but to see you catch the ball, score that touchdown, and then have the impressive catch down the middle where there's contact, seems just from a confidence standpoint, how gratifying is that for you to go out there and make the plays and make them the way you do?
I mean, just working out with Moses Cabrera here every morning. He's been my, a real good resource for me, coming back, getting into shape. Making sure I'm on top of things and giving my best effort. And we talk about it every day, what we want to put out there at practice. And it feels good to know that we put together somewhat of a finished product this first week and was able to maintain. Now we want to be able to build upon it. So continued hard work, that's what we're all about. That's what I'm going to continue to try and do.
Thank you, Josh. Devin McCourty's next. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Captain Devin McCourty. Raise your hand, we'll pass the mic, and you can ask a question. We'll start with Mike Reese in the front, followed by Mike there.
3 points, Devin. Seemed like a great start. What would be your sort of characterization of the way the defense played tonight?
I think we just did a good job. I mean, every time we play a good defensive performance, it's because we kind of stuck to the game plan. And I would say that's what we did today. And I think I talked about during the week just being able to adjust. And they gave us a lot of different things, whether it was a 2-back, situation, if it was 4 wide, 5 wide. They did a bunch of different things. And I think our ability to adjust and communicate out there helped us out a lot on defense. And I think that's something that we just got to continue to work on and get better because teams are going to do different things. I think it helps. We got a lot of guys that could start on a lot of teams in the NFL, and guys are very selfless, come out here, prepare when their number's called to go out there and play, and I think we just got to keep that mentality all throughout.
It seemed like you guys were able to substitute regularly, especially the front 7 in front of you. I'm curious, when you guys are substituting that frequently this early in the season, what is that a quality of in terms of defensive signal calling?
I think it's a credit to all of the guys, on defense. Everybody's earned the opportunity to be out there playing. And I think the coaches is doing a great job making sure everybody's fresh, putting different guys in there because everyone's played well. I mean, you guys have watched throughout preseason. We've had a number of guys that have been out there and played good football. I'm sure all you guys do your roster projections, and you've changed it a bunch of times leading into this. And I think that's a credit to the guys that have been in this locker room, guys that are on other teams now, since April have worked their butts off. So it feels good to come out here, opening night and have a lot of guys play for us defensively and a lot of guys play well.
You mentioned on opening night the sideline is going to come important, where you guys come off the field and guys can point out some things that you probably have never seen before. Did that help tonight? Were you able to do that tonight?
Yeah, and I think because of the experience we have in the secondary, when we're over there talking, it's guys playing so many different roles that we're just discussing whatever it was. So when the next guy's in a different role and he's in a role that a guy just came from, we can talk about this so they know what to expect. And I thought that showed up throughout the game of us just continuing to talk and try to get things on the same page. And, they gave us some things that, we kind of talked about, maybe this would happen. And we just did a good job of getting on the same page on every play. And a lot of that comes from just being able to talk on the sideline. And you'll see sometimes, like the whole coaching staff is still meeting, talking about the last series. And, we're over there, Jay's holding the surface, and we're going over it on our own because we have a lot of guys that have played here for a long time.
Devin, we're used to seeing Deron Harmon making that deep pick over the middle late in the games and the deep coverage. Is there sort of art in that sort of closer pick late in games? And how does it feel defensively as a unit when you get that sort of stop from a team that's trying to throw deep and get back in the game in that situation?
It's awesome because it's tiring out there once they start throwing every down, and we're out there chasing a lot of these fast guys. And Deron actually switched with me on that play. So he could have been back there. So we always laugh and joke. There's been a couple times I've switched with him and he's got an interception. So both of us just back there, we talk all throughout the week on quarterback reads, what we saw with Big Ben, of how to play it in the middle. So anytime either one of us get an interception, a lot of it is just us communicating during the week of how to play things and what we think's best. So our group is so unselfish, man. We all enjoy everybody making plays, and you saw that tonight. There was a lot of pass breakups, a lot of good coverage, and that's good. It's a good outfit. You're going against a Hall of Fame quarterback and a lot of good receivers.
Devin, as one of the captains of the team, what is your reaction to the news that Antonio Brown's going to be joining the team?
Like I told Mike Girardi earlier, we got plenty of time to talk about Antonio Brown. I just feel like tonight is a big credit to the guys that have been putting in work since April. He's a great player, so we'll see how everything works out. But I was excited just to be out there with this team and guys competing and playing well tonight.
You talked about the sideline operation a little bit with the defense coming back and going over the surface and things like that. But when it comes to Mayo and Steve Belichick, what did they add to the defense tonight in terms of how they were communicating with you guys on the field?
I think the cool thing is they both have great relationships with the players. Maybe it's because they're a lot closer in age. So all throughout the week, we're talking, before drive, Steve's asking us what we like. Even earlier today, just talking about different things that we like. Same thing with Mayo. So I think the thing that's been great, around here is just constant communication, not just players, but players, coaching, players and coaches of just communicating what we like, what we don't like, and just making sure we're all on the same page. And I think that's how you play your best football, is when the guys on the sideline are working well together with all the guys on the field, because we're the guys out there that got to make the plays.
Final questions?
Appreciate it.